Imagine standing beside an airplane so massive its wingspan is longer than an entire football field. Or a flying machine so huge it could carry tanks, rockets, and even another spacecraft on its back. For over 100 years, engineers have pushed aviation to unbelievable extremes, building aircraft larger, heavier, and more powerful than anything humanity thought possible. Some of these giants changed history forever. Others became legendary failures. And one of them was so enormous, people called it impossible before it even flew. Today, we're counting down the top 5 largest aircraft ever built in human history based on wingspan, weight, length, and engineering impact. From Cold War monsters to modern flying space launch platforms, these are the true giants of the sky.
If you're enjoying this so far, do me a quick favor. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps support what I do here. Now, let's dive in.
Number 5. Airbus A380. Coming in at number 5 is the legendary Airbus A380, the largest passenger airplane ever built. Developed by Airbus, the A380 made its first flight on April 27, 2005, and officially entered airline service in 2007. This giant double-decker jet was designed to dominate long-haul travel and challenge the famous Boeing 747. And the numbers were insane. The aircraft stretches nearly 73 meters long, weighs around 575 tons at maximum takeoff weight, and can carry up to 853 passengers in an all-economy configuration. Inside, some airlines added luxury suites, onboard lounges, showers, and even private first-class apartments. At one point, flying on the A380 felt more like entering a luxury hotel than boarding an airplane. Its wingspan measures almost 80 meters, wide enough to require specially modified airport gates around the world. Despite becoming one of the most recognizable aircraft ever made, Airbus officially ended production in 2021 after building 254 aircraft. But even today, the A380 remains the undisputed king of passenger aviation.
At number 4 is one of the strangest aircraft ever created, the legendary Hughes H-4 Hercules, better known as the Spruce Goose. Built during World War II by aviation billionaire Howard Hughes, this aircraft was intended to transport troops and cargo across the Atlantic Ocean while avoiding German submarines. But there was one huge problem. During wartime, aluminum was heavily restricted, so engineers built most of the aircraft using birchwood instead. The result looked absolutely unreal. The Spruce Goose had a wingspan of nearly 98 meters, making it the largest aircraft by wingspan for more than 70 years.
It used 8 giant radial engines and stood taller than a 5-story building. Critics laughed at the project and called it a waste of money. But on November 2nd, 1947, Howard Hughes shocked everyone. The giant aircraft actually flew! Only once. The flight lasted less than a minute and traveled around 1 mile above the water. After that, the aircraft never flew again. Today, the Spruce Goose survives as one of the most iconic experimental aircraft in aviation history.
At number 3 is the futuristic scaled composites Stratolaunch, also known simply as ROC. This aircraft looks like something from science fiction. With 2 giant fuselages connected by an enormous wing, the Stratolaunch was designed to launch rockets into space directly from the sky. Created by Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen, the project aimed to revolutionize space launches, and in terms of size, it broke records instantly. The Stratolaunch has the largest wingspan ever flown in aviation history, an unbelievable 117 meters, or 385 feet.
That's longer than an American football field.
The aircraft uses 6 Boeing 747 engines and can carry payloads weighing up to 250 tons. After years of delays, the giant aircraft finally completed its first successful flight in April 2019 over California's Mojave Desert. Unlike traditional rockets launched vertically, Stratolaunch carries vehicles high into the atmosphere before releasing them. The goal? Cheaper and more flexible access to space. Even today, ROC remains one of the most unusual aircraft humanity has ever built.
At number 2 is the monstrous Soviet Mil V-12. And yes,
This thing is actually a helicopter. Developed during the Cold War by the Soviet Union, the Mil V-12 was designed to transport heavy military equipment, ballistic missiles, and massive cargo to remote locations. To achieve that, engineers built the largest helicopter ever made. The aircraft featured two gigantic rotors mounted side by side, powered by 4 turboshaft engines producing around 26,000 horsepower combined. Its maximum takeoff weight reached roughly 105 tons. That's heavier than many commercial airplanes. In 1969, the Mil V-12 set multiple world records by lifting over 44,000 kilograms to high altitude, records that still stand today. Pilots described flying it like controlling an airborne apartment building. Despite its incredible power, only 2 prototypes were ever built. Why? Because advances in missile technology eventually made the helicopter unnecessary. Still, the Mil V-12 remains one of the greatest engineering achievements in rotary aviation history.
And finally, the #1 largest aircraft ever built in history is the legendary Antonov An-225 Mriya. Mriya means dream in Ukrainian, and this aircraft truly was a dream of engineering. Built in the Soviet Union during the 1980s, the An-225 was originally created to transport the Soviet Buran space shuttle and Energia rocket system. The aircraft first flew in 1988, and immediately it shattered records. The An-225 measured 84 meters long, featured 6 massive turbofan engines, and had a maximum takeoff weight of around 640 tons. No aircraft in history has carried heavier cargo.
It could transport giant industrial equipment, military vehicles, locomotives, and even wind turbine blades across continents. A single flight often attracted thousands of spectators at airports around the world. People would literally stop traffic just to watch it land. For decades, the An-225 became one of the most beloved aircraft on Earth. But tragedy struck in 2022. During the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the only completed An-225 was destroyed during fighting near Kyiv. The loss shocked aviation fans worldwide. Yet even after its destruction, the An-225 remains the heaviest and one of the most legendary aircraft ever built. A true symbol of engineering ambition.
From giant passenger jets, to wooden flying boats, to flying rocket launchers, these aircraft prove that humanity has never stopped pushing the limits of flight. Some became commercial icons. Some failed spectacularly. And some changed aviation forever. But all of them shared one thing in common. They were built to achieve what once seemed impossible. So, which one amazed you the most? The futuristic Stratolaunch? The gigantic Spruce Goose? Or the legendary Antonov An-225? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more incredible stories about aviation, engineering, and the world's greatest machines.